Hey, good morning everybody. It's just gone 5:30 in the morning and I've come outside and I've got a particular goal in mind for today, and that is, well, I'll get to it shortly, but we've been having an issue lately, and that's that we've got brush turkeys coming onto the property. Now when they first came here, Greta and I thought, wow, how wonderful, we've got brush turkeys here because they're such beautiful creatures. And we were kind of delighted that the brush turkeys had chosen our property to come onto. But we didn't really know much about them at the time. We were fairly ignorant of what brush turkeys do. And it turned out that they're not really somebody that we want to have here on the property. We'd rather they went somewhere else, to be honest, because they're a bit of a nuisance. They scrape up all the mulch. They do a lot of damage in the garden. They create a huge nest which the male brush turkey scrapes all the topsoil, the leaves, twigs, mulch. He scrapes it all together into this big mound, which can be like 1.5 meters tall, and then he digs a hole in the mound, and the female comes along and puts her eggs in there, and then he covers up the eggs, and then it's his duty afterwards to make sure that the eggs are always at a constant temperature. So he's constantly coming along and sticking his beak in there. He's got like a thermometer inside him somehow, and he knows what the temperature is inside the mound. And if it's too hot, he'll scrape away a little bit at the top so it cools down, and if it's too cold, he'll scrape more onto the pile, so he keeps it this constant temperature until the eggs hatch. And then the eggs come out, the little babies come out, and they're all by themselves. I don't think that the brush turkeys look after their young. They just have to fend for themselves once they're out. But the male hangs around on his mound, on his nest, and looks after them until they're ready. Anyway, a few days ago, I noticed that brush turkeys were building a nest inside our orchard, right next to one of the fruit trees, and he'd totally scraped away all the mulch that I'd put there all around. And I thought, oh no, this is such a, because he actually lays the soil bare, so it's like there's not even any grass there anymore. He scratches up everything. He scratches up the grass, he scratches up the twigs and the leaves until there's it's just bare. It's like deserted piece of land. So the last couple of mornings I've been coming out early in the morning and destroying his nest before he has a chance to complete it. I mean, yesterday I came out and I had to cart away about 12 wheelbarrows of the stuff that he had scraped in a period of 2 days, because I hadn't looked at it for 2 days. So today I'm going to go and see what damage he's done, because I know he's been working at it all last night, and from early this morning, as soon as it got light, he was up and he was at it again. So I'm going to go and have a look and see what he's done, and then I'm going to set to work clearing it all, because I don't want him to be making that mound there. It's in the wrong place. I want the mulch that he's put there to be back underneath the fruit trees where it should be, to feed the fruit trees, and not where he wants it to be. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's have a look and see what he's up to. And the female is with him too, the male and the female. He chased her away. So I'm going to go and have a look and see if what he's done. He may not. It doesn't look like he's done that much actually, because yesterday there was a big. They're coming back again. Let's see if I can get in even closer. That is the female, and she hangs around with him every morning. I hear he's coming now. Sorry. That's the male. You can tell by that thing hanging underneath his neck. You may wonder what that metal grid is that I put there. Well, I put it there last night, rather naively of me, I suppose, just to prevent him scraping mulch from a certain area. But I don't think it really prevents him at all. It just maybe slows him down a little bit. Yeah, I think I caught him quite early. Yeah, yesterday he had a pile that was about this high, and it was out here and over the back there, and I had to cart away about 12 wheelbarrows of the stuff and put it back under the trees, because I'll show you in a second the soil, how he scratches it and kind of just leaves it bare. And what's happened is that I came out yesterday afternoon around about, I think it must have been around 4 o'clock, and there was a pile about this high, because I cleaned it in the morning from the pile that was this high, and he managed to mount it up this high, and I kind of scraped it away with my hands and pushed it back underneath the tree next to it. So that frightened him away for a little bit. So I don't think he managed to do much. And because I've come out so early in the morning, because the sun's only just been up for the last 15 minutes, that's meant that he hasn't had time to really actually do much more than this little amount here, which isn't much yet. But I'm going to nevertheless clean it away, and I found out a way to stop him scraping from underneath the trees, which I've already prevented him from doing where he was before. So yeah, I'll just show you where he was before. This is how he leaves the soil. It's just bare soil, nothing on there. Before it was grass along here, and now there isn't any weeds, there isn't any grass at all that's coming up. It's just bare soil. And that's what he did, a whole area that was, I don't know how many square meters. And this area yesterday was all laid bare underneath a citrus tree that's here. What I did was, when I carted the wheelbarrows of mulch, I put them all back under this area, well, not all of them, but I put a lot of the wheelbarrows back in this particular section, and then I covered it with this really long grass that we have. It grows up to 5 meters tall, and put some palm leaves on top, and that actually prevents him from getting back on it, because he can't scrape away the palm leaf, they're too big, and so he can't get to the soil there anymore. So I've taken care of that quite well, prevent him from coming back here again. The same goes on this side. I put palm leaves all down here, which means now he can't get back here again and start scraping around. I'll actually, this grass here is the banana grass, and it grows up to 5 meters tall, I would say, 4 or 5 meters, yeah, at least 5 meters tall. So we have this as a privacy hedge between us and the street. So when the cars drive past, they can't really look in the property, they don't really see what's going on here. And the other bonus of having it really is that it is such a great thing to be laying down under the trees, because the animals find it difficult to scrape aside to get to the earth. So it means that we can leave the topsoil untouched, relatively. So I'm going to get some more of that this morning too, and put it in places where the brush turkey has been scraping again last night. A beautiful citrus tree here. This is a grapefruit tree in full flower at the moment, so we're going to have a lot of grapefruits next year. There's still one on there from last year, which I'll be picking later on this morning. Use it in a juice. There's a couple left on the tree, not many. Mostly it's all in flower. Anyway, I'm going to get to work with this mulch. So it's the next day and the brush turkey's back again. I don't know if you can see him behind me, but he's been working on it. I went back a couple of times yesterday after I filmed and cleaned his nest out, but he's back again and he's doing the same thing in exactly the same spot. So I'm going to have to chase him away and get rid of the pile before it mounts into something which is going to take me too long to get rid of. He's a persistent little fella. Persistent fella. This is where he's been scraping around at, and as you can see once more, the soil is laid bare. You can actually see roots from the tree on the surface where they should be buried. That's banana roots you can see there. So I'm going to have to put this mound back where it belongs. Okay, now that I've put this back, I'm going to get some banana grass and stick it all around, and that should stop him coming back to this particular spot, in theory anyway. He's back again. I'm doing the grass, cutting the banana grass, and he's come back. He can't help himself. He's just like hanging around, kicking up leaves, waiting for me to piss off, so that he can come back and continue. Okay, that's the area he was scraping from, which was all laid bare to the earth with the roots out. And now I've put all the mulch back and I've covered it with banana grass, you know, kind of like grid. It's very difficult, I've noticed, for him to be scraping this, so he kind of leaves it alone and goes somewhere else, which is easier to scrape. Now I don't know where he's going to go next, but my plan of action is to just wait and see what he does. And wherever he starts scraping from, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be putting it back and I'll be layering it with this grass. And I'll keep doing this. I'm going to be as persistent as he is. So I'm pretty much done for today. I've cleared his mound. It's all level again. And he'll be back again. He'll be back again within 10 minutes after I've left. But that's okay. I'll come back later on in the day, as I did yesterday, and I'll see what he's done. I'll clear what he's done, because I prefer to do it in bits and pieces rather than all in one big job. Because as I said, the first time I did it, there was like 12 wheelbarrows of this stuff. It was quite a lot of work, especially as he'd scraped it from way up in the orchard over there somewhere. He'd scraped it all the way down, and I had to put it all the way back up there again, and I put it all over the place. Now he's kind of focusing, because I've covered many areas with palm leaves, with banana grass, and that's really, I mean, if you can look along this aisle, I've covered it all with palm leaves, and underneath the palm leaves is banana grass, and he's not returning to these spots at all, whereas before he'd basically uncovered underneath all of these trees. So now he's turned his attention in this direction, and yeah, I'll see where he goes from here. But I've already started putting palm leaves down in different places here too. I did that in the past. So he's going to find it more and more difficult to find spots to scrape leaves from. We'll just see what happens anyway. Okay, he's back again. This is maybe the 5th day that I'm battling against the brush turkey. He sees that I'm standing here, and he's just momentarily stopped his work because he doesn't know what I'm going to do. So he's standing on his mound, and I'm going to clear it again, just like I've done every morning for the last 5 or 6 days maybe. He's still not getting the message. I don't know why he's not getting the message. I keep destroying his work, and he keeps coming back and doing it again. It must be dawning on him slowly that he's wasting his time, and that what he's doing is not resulting in anything. His girlfriend must think he's a complete loser. He can't even build a mound.
It's really kind of sad. I mean, it is sad. It's like, because I'm not letting him do this, which is his instinct, but if he could just get the message, he could go somewhere else entirely and do it and be undisturbed. He's just doing it in a place where it's not wanted. Yeah. I just prepared this area. Same procedure as yesterday and the day before and the day before that. I covered, it was all bare soil, and I've covered it over with a mound from the turkeys pile, and then covered it with banana grass, which as you can see is quite long. Okay, I finished again. I flattened his mound, poor little thing, and I've also put more banana grass down in a few places. Over there, just there, that was all bare before. He'd uncovered all of that area, so I've covered it all up with the mulch from the mound and put banana grass on top. So I'm kind of keeping on top of things, although I dread the thought that the mating season is something like between October and February, I think. So I really hope he gets the message, because I don't want to keep doing this every single day. But if I have to, I will. It just means that some of the rest of the garden is going to get neglected, because it takes a lot of energy to clear this and prepare the banana grass and stick it down, the palm leaves, all that kind of stuff. So it's the next day and the turkey's been at it again. I've just been clearing some of his mound. But last night I came up with an idea. I was thinking about it, how to stop him building, because I don't want to keep coming here every day for the next 3 or 4 months clearing his mound. I don't know that he'll ever get the message that it's not the place that I want him to do it. So I came up with an idea while I was like lying in bed thinking about what to do. I figured if I was to get a lot of bamboo, which I've done here, I've cut all this bamboo about this size, and stake it into the ground, maybe it might stop him coming back. Maybe it might stop him trying to build his nest here, because he won't be able to get to it if all this is sticking out of the ground. So I thought I'd give that an idea. So I'm going to do that now. We're just going to level this a little bit more, and then I'm going to put the bamboo which I've cut. I've cut a lot of it already. Got it prepared here. I cut it yesterday. I'll stick it in the ground, and I'll see what happens and see if it makes him change his mind about building it here and find some other place to do it. Okay, so let's get to it. As you can see, I've left a lot of the little side shoots of the bamboo on, because then I can actually weave it around the bamboo to make a kind of fence. That's what I thought anyway. That was the theory. Just in and out. Just something to stop him from getting back there again. I mean, obviously it's not going to stop him getting in there because the bird can fly anyway, but it's going to stop him dragging the mulch litter and the soil into it, because he won't be able to get through the fence. And this is much easier than putting up a fence. All I've done is cut a few pieces of bamboo which I had lying around. They're dry already, and I'll stick them all around here. See if he's come back tomorrow when I finished. Okay, that's where he was building, and I've kind of like fenced it all off now with the bamboo, so we'll see what happens. I guess I have to wait until later on today to see whether he manages to get in there. I don't think he'll be able to get in there. There is a chance he could maybe dig out the sticks if I haven't put him in deep enough. He is persistent. I guess if he does, I've just got to come back and try again, keep trying, because yeah, I think this, I mean, he could start building here, but for some reason, I don't know what the mentality of the bird is. He wants to choose exactly this spot. So now that I've done this, I'm curious to see what he's going to do next. Okay. Well, it's the next morning and the brush turkey has not been back. The first time in well over a week. So putting this little thing up with the bamboo has definitely stopped him. Whether it's momentarily or not, I don't know. It's a bit too early to say. I'll have to keep checking on it over the next few days. But hopefully it's deterred him. Only time will tell. I must admit that doing this every day for the past week or so has really got me thinking. I mean, it gets me into a philosophical mindset, really, thinking about what I'm doing and wondering about the brush turkey, whose life I'm obviously making quite miserable, and I'm not happy about that. But then again, I'm not happy about what the brush turkey is doing. It's such a difficult situation. You know, some years ago we had pigs come onto the property, and within a space of about a year, I think they must have been with us for a year, they were coming every single day onto the property. And they started at a certain point in time, they realized that the banana plants were edible. So they would start eating not just the bananas, not just a bunch of bananas, they would eat the whole plant. And we had at the time probably 150 banana plants or more. And by the time, within a year or so of them coming every day, we were getting less and less of them. We must have had about 1/3 of them left. They'd taken them out. Some of them had even taken out the roots. So they'd eaten the whole plant, and they'd dug up and eaten the roots as well. It was a very trying time because we wanted to grow as much food as we can. And these animals were coming on, and they were not only digging up the bananas, they were digging around the trees. I was afraid that any smaller trees they would have killed. Even bigger trees they could do serious damage to because they damaged the root system of the trees. I really did not know what to do. I mean, pigs aren't native to Australia. And we're not the only people that have this problem. In the wet tropics, pigs are everywhere. They've become a pest, for want of a better word, all over Australia, or at least many places in Australia. So I didn't know what to do. Certainly, I'm not someone that's going to shoot them. I mean, but Other people don't think the way that I do, and in some ways I'm thankful about that, because neighbouring farmers started shooting them. Every night we would hear gunshots. Every night for months on end they were shooting because there was a lot of pigs. And suddenly, about a year after they came, they stopped coming. I think they were mostly killed, mostly shot. Probably all of them were shot. Otherwise we'd have had them. And that's several years ago. And the other night, I was lying in bed. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, and I heard a noise, a very familiar noise, coming from the gully near the house. And I recognised that it was pigs. I heard pigs again, and they were shooting again, the farmers. I mean, as I said, it's been some years, but the pigs clearly were back again, and it immediately sent this feeling of doom going through me, because it just makes gardening so much more difficult. Not only with the damage that they do to the plants, but to the topsoil, and they dig, and it's a mess everywhere. The mulch that I put there now, I've got things down at the moment that will stop the brush turkey, but the pigs, it won't stop. The pigs, the banana grass I put down, the pigs will just, they're like little tanks. They'll go through it, and you can't do anything about it. Except the only thing that can be done, that is being done, is to shoot the pigs. And I'm glad that that's not on me to do that, because if it was on me, I don't have a solution. We just accepted the fact that the pigs were coming in, destroying the garden. Anyway, they left. A few months ago, we saw one brush turkey walk through the garden. We were delighted. We thought, oh, what a beautiful bird. We really love to see this bird here. We were thinking about seeing when the bird has his babies or her babies, walking around with her, and how cute that would be. We didn't know anything about brush turkeys at the time. We didn't know exactly what their story was and what they do. Now we do. Now we know better. We know that people all over Australia have problems with brush turkeys like they have problems with pigs, only they're not quite as bad as pigs. But unlike pigs, they can fly. So they'll go up in the tree and they'll knock unripe fruit off the tree. And although they're not killing our banana plants, they get up in the banana bunches long before they're ready to pick, long before they're ready to get ripe when picked. And they'll start eating the bananas before they're ready. Now, we have fruit bats that come through here, and they will start to eat the bananas off the bunches, but they only ever do so when the banana bunch is ready to be picked. So I take it as a kind of sign. I'll look at a banana bunch and I'll see that fruit bats had a nibble from them, and I'll think, oh, that's okay, that's just telling me it's time to pick them. But with the brush turkeys, they'll eat them before they're ready. So what to do? What to do? And the more we get of them, the more this problem will be there. And we don't want, I mean, at the moment it's like one male brush turkey, he's the one that builds the nest. And I've seen 3 females that hang around with him, although in recent times I've only seen 1 male and 1 female, so I don't know what's happened to the other 2 females. And the thought of him building this mound and putting nest here and having the babies, much as we had a look at the babies online and they're just such cute little things, we just thought, oh, that's, you know, they do look cute, but we don't want them here. We don't want them. I'd like to be able to garden and put mulch down and be able to come here the next day and the mulch still to be there, and not for it to be strewn all over the place, which is what's been happening. Of course, as I said, I'm taking care of it. I'm taking care of it with the palm leaves, with the banana grass. So that's definitely doing something. And now this has done something to prevent them. But who knows? it probably just means now that he's going to find somewhere else to put his mound. And unlike pigs, they are a protected species in Australia, so you're not allowed to hurt them. Pigs, you can shoot as many as you want. Now, I'm not trying to condone any of this or say that I wish that the brush turkeys could be shot, because I don't want that. That's not a solution for me. And I'm being quite honest to you, I don't have a solution. I don't know what to do. I know that theoretically the brush turkey could be caught and taken somewhere else, but that's also illegal and quite frankly immoral in my eyes too, to do that, because this is their home. They were here long before we were here, and you know, for a time when they first started coming here, I was thinking that they weren't native to here, that it's dry land and they shouldn't be here, because I thought they were native to the wet tropics. But apparently I've learned that brush turkeys were all around here before white settlers came in and started shooting them, because they were easy to kill. And only now in recent times they're coming back. And I've spoken with a lot of people in the area, and a lot of people are saying they're getting brush turkeys when they never had them before, and they've just started coming back in the last year or so. I don't know what this means for the garden. I don't know what this means for us, really, because it seems like there's always something to contend with. You know, certain things that we can't grow here. We can't grow pawpaw. I've tried so many times to grow pawpaw here, but never with success. We get some kind of, I think it's called a fruit spotting bug, which comes in and basically destroys the whole plant. It makes the whole trunk of the papaya plant suddenly collapses in on itself, and the whole thing falls over. And it's very rare that we get any fruit at all. And I've been trying ever since we've been here in end of 2012 when we moved in here, and I've never really had success growing papaya. So I should really give up, because it's been 13 years, no, it's been 10 years since we moved in. So yeah, but I'm stubborn. I keep trying, I keep doing things, even though they're not having much success. I'm quite disappointed with how much fruit we get here, actually, because we're still quite reliant on buying fruit from farmers, from other people. And this is the thing, see, we buy fruit from farmers around the area, but they don't have the same kind of ethics or morals that we do. They don't have the same kind of dilemmas that we face. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to hurt anybody regardless of whether they have fur or skin or scales or feathers. And farmers don't think the same way. If an animal is a threat to their crop, they're going to kill the animal regardless of whether it's legal or immoral or not. And if we decide, well, we'll just be reliant on them, we are actually reliant on them killing too. So it's not like that's a solution. If we can't grow things and we go somewhere else, there isn't a solution. We just try and grow things that we can. The citrus are doing well here. We're getting good citrus crops, and we're quite happy with that. We're getting really nice oranges and mandarins, grapefruits. That we're very happy with. Ackee is good when we get them going. We get some black sapote every year, but not much. Somebody normally eats them before we get to them. This year's going to be a really terrible crop for mangoes. I think actually all around the whole area there's not going to be many mangoes this year. Anyway, I think I've waffled on enough. You've seen what I've done here. I'll come back again tomorrow and have another look and see if there's anything changed, if he's come back again. And if he hasn't, I'm going to walk all around the property because there's areas I haven't been to for a while because I don't, you know, it's like a large area and I don't go everywhere every day. But I'll wander all around again. I'll look for the brush turkey's mound, and if he started again, I will do the same again. I will destroy his mound before he gets a chance to lay more eggs. I just wish that he would go somewhere else, but at the same time I know that if he goes somewhere else, it's really just somebody else who's got the same kind of problem that we're getting. Only nothing really. I don't have a solution. I wish I did. I wish I did. This earth is just so difficult. It's just so difficult to live in peace, to do what we want to do. It's just not easy. Yeah, we're trying, but it's just not easy. Anyway, I don't want to whinge. I know that we have a beautiful life here. I want to end on this note really, because we have so many things to be thankful for that this is just such a minor issue really in comparison to people. There's people out there suffering in war zones or in earthquake, volcanic places that aren't safe to live. There's all kinds of things going wrong in the world, poverty and that, and we have such a great life here in comparison. So thank you, universe. Thank you. Yeah. Talk later.